Welcome to the Intention Academy. We are here today talking about not good enough. It is something that absolutely is affecting every single one of us. It's affecting our relationships, it's affecting our business, it's affecting who we are on the inside. And I want to talk to you today about why that is. Why does it affect everyone? And if you can hear in the background, we've got Coco back there, so she's going to be joining us with her barks. Done everything that I could to not make that happen, but she is not allowing that to be. So we are just going to get straight into it today. So my name is Melissa Gell. If this is the first time that you are with me, please come in and tell me. Let me know, and I can welcome you to the group. I know we've had a lot of new members over the past couple of weeks, and I'm so excited because the one thing that I do know to be true is that healing is possible. And it starts with understanding the brain and understanding why it is that we do what we do, and then doing the work to heal that. So if you've been following me for a while, on the other hand, thank you for continuing to come back. It is my honor and my privilege to come here to you and help you teach. I myself was raped and sex trafficked from 2 to 25, and I always say that's not what ruined my life. What ruined my life was who I decided I was because of rape. And with that, I wrecked my own life for decades. So welcome. So glad y'all are on. Hello. So again, when we understand why we do, how did all of those things wreck my life, and it wasn't all of the events that were horrible or horrendous or what have you. Why? Well, we have to understand how the brain works. So normally, I like to go in and start defining things and just break everything down, and then we'll kind of start talking about the brain. I'm going to do it a little bit different today. Today, I want to start with why it is, how the brain works, and what's actually running the show, and then we will get into not good enough, because not good enough is just one of the results. So when we understand the brain, we have to understand that there is this whole mechanism back here that is ruling and reigning all of the different things that are going on in our life, our entire experience. In fact, everything that our perception of what is even real is all controlled from this unconscious mind. So first we have to understand how we take on information. And so we think that we just are taking on this information with our eyes. We have to know that we have 60,000 thoughts every single day. 80% of them are negative. When we understand what creates emotion, it makes sense why we are miserable. It makes sense why we don't feel good. It makes sense why our bodies are running down. So let's first talk about how we take on information, and then we'll talk about these thoughts and how they produce feelings and emotions inside of our body. Welcome everybody, you're coming in. Hello from the UK, so glad you are here. Got lots of clients on as well. A million, is that your name? Because that's amazing. If it is, that is super cool. If not, I'd love to know what your real name is too. I've seen you around, and I think that you might have sent me a message. For all of the people sending messages, I do try and get back to them as soon as I can. Thank you for your patience. There's just not enough time in the day. I may get just too many messages in one day. I do have an entire team who is here to help you as well. You may get messages from Abdullah. You may get one from Jana, from Hannah, Stacy, that are all on our team. Deanne, we are all, Amelia, I love it. We are all here to support you, and we all have one goal, which is to support you understanding why you do what it is that you do, and healing the part of you that is causing you to do the things that you most disdain about yourself. I love it. Keep it motivating and inspiring. Yes, motivation works, but it's more like a bath. Let's get healing and then keep ourselves motivated, because otherwise, when we just stick with motivation, again, from the frontal lobe, again, we're constantly having to do it. I want to talk to you about the engine that makes you do things automatically. We don't have to try to not feel good enough. It's automatic. Maybe you feel good enough in this area, but not good enough in this area. But it runs through our head, and we really want to understand why that is. So we take on information with our eyes, and we think that when we have an experience, even like right now, you're listening to this, you're watching me, you're taking on this information with your eyes, you're hearing it, you're getting a picture, because you've got a visual representation, this is easier. But even if I wasn't here talking to you, you would still get an image in your head. That image, we think, goes to the frontal lobe. We think about it. We decide if it's important. We'll file it away into this unconscious mind to think about later, and we'll call it a memory. But that's not what happens. This is our reality. We have a situation. We're coming into contact with a person, place, or thing. We're having an event. When that happens, we take on that information with our eyes. It bypasses our thinking brain. It bypasses our critical factor. And it goes straight to the unconscious mind, and it gets filtered through something called the reticular activating system, or the RAS. And you're going to hear that word around here a lot. Why? Because it is controlling every single thing that you do on a daily basis, or 96% of it, right? So we take that picture, bypasses the thinking brain, bypasses the critical factor that could make any sense of it, goes to the unconscious mind, starts getting filtered through all of the events we've had in our life before this one. It filters through all of our emotions. It filters through all of our programming that we had, our environmental programming, our religious programming, our educational programming, our social programming, our societal programming. Then we delete, generalize, and distort that image to match whatever's been programmed here in the reticular activating system. And we move that distorted image to the front to think about. And we call that the truth, this distorted image or this deleted image. Sometimes we go through things, and let me give you an example of where we delete, and I'll give you an example of distorting. Deleting, this is when we can be on the phone and be looking for our phone at the exact same time. We can be looking for our keys, and our keys are in our hand. We look for our sunglasses, and our sunglasses are on our head. Whenever we put our sunglasses on our head, it went through the reticular activating system. The unconscious mind deleted it because it wasn't important at the moment, because you were inside your house. You leave the house, and we don't have the information to retrieve that we stuck them on our head. Is this making sense to anyone? Especially for the new people. Everything that I talk about, if we do not understand that our reality is not our reality, it is just what we have created it to mean, we're going to get so much further. We're going to get so much further. And feel free to put any questions that you have as I go through. Welcome, Emily, Hannah, Eric, Kathleen. So happy to see you. Joyce, if you're here, so glad that you're here. All right. So now, whenever you understand that these thoughts, what's happening. So again, what creates a belief system is whenever we come in contact with something, we have a deep emotion. And in that moment, we decide something about ourselves or the world. So when I told you that I was raped and sex trafficked on and off from 2 to 25, and that's not what ruined my life. What ruined my life was who I decided I was in that moment. That's what ruined my life, because that day, and those days, I decided that I wasn't good enough. I decided that love and sex were the same thing. I decided if I wasn't having sex well, I wasn't worthy of love. I decided that the world isn't safe. I decided that safety was outside of my body. And I decided that I couldn't keep myself safe. Now, when you take belief systems like that, and every single activity that you do every single day gets run through filters like that, you're going to understand why your life is exactly where it's at today. It is not on accident. It is not because you're a victim or any of the other things. We can heal from even the most worst tragedies that are out there. And we can walk people through healing, through the worst things that they have happened, but not until we've walked ourselves through it. Not until we walked ourselves through it. Hello, hello. Hi, Stacy. I couldn't find my glasses anywhere yesterday, and then they fell into my eyes. Exactly. And this is what we do. Now, we do have to understand that, like I told you before, we have 60,000 thoughts a day. 80% of them are negative. Now, when you understand how feelings are created, then you're going to understand why this is a huge problem. Because we get a thought, the thought then releases a chemical or a hormone, and the chemical or the hormone produces an emotion or a feeling, the body's experience of it. This is why I have a problem with all of today's regulating the nervous system. That's not enough. By the time that you're having to regulate it, it's too late. You've already flooded the body with all of the chemicals, and now you're in catch-up mode. Now you're having to try and figure out how to get back to where you were before at this this space. What we want to do is to create the healing inside the unconscious mind so that the nervous system doesn't go there anymore. Now, I want to back up a tiny bit and just let you know that not feeling is not the goal. We're going to feel. We want to feel. Fear is for you. Anger is for you. Everything that, all of your emotions that you have, they are there to support you, either to create you to act, to give you a message, to remind you to feel it. Sometimes it's that. But if we don't know how to communicate our feelings and all we know how to do is shove them down so that we can get the next task on the list done so that we can feel good enough on our checklist of things that we've been programmed to believe what good enough is, we're going to live a miserable life. Even if you finish everything on the list. And normally you won't, because you'll put so much stuff on the list that you're guaranteed to fail, so that at the end of the night you can shame yourself because that's where you're comfortable. Is this resonating with anyone? And only know because I lived here for decades, and so have you. And it doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. So thought, chemical, emotion. Now what we do with that emotion is what's going to happen next, because the actual emotion in the body only lasts 97 seconds. The physical part of the emotion, 90 seconds. You're already done with the chemicals, and now it's time for a new thought. And if your new thought is, this always happens to me, you've just, again, it's what you end up seeing. You could have two different scenarios. One is the thing that always happens to you, and another thing is simultaneously something really great, and you will only see this because you will delete, generalize, and distort every good thing that happens in your life because you're not worthy of it. Doesn't mean that it's not there. Doesn't even mean that you didn't create it. You did. Hello, Tori. So glad you're here. I think Jana sent you that link, and we can meet up tomorrow. So, at the core of everything in this unconscious mind, it comes back to the belief systems. And the reason why, people say, oh, well, you can't just work on the mind, just mind work. And that's true, but you do have to understand that your brain is putting out every single chemical that is running the rest of your body. So you can sit there and focus on your body all of the time, or you can heal this and learn how to feel this. You can learn how to feel it in your body and heal it in the mind, in the brain, where it's actually happening. Because everything is starting with a thought. So let's talk about that. If everything is started with a thought, all of your emotions are started with a thought. You've got 60,000 thoughts running through your brain. 80% of them are negative. How do you think you're going to be feeling 80% of the time? Based on science, you're not going to feel well because you're going to get the chemicals that produce the feelings that you don't like to feel. And then you're going to do one of two things. Through your programming, you're going to shove it down, which is what you've always done, Or you're going to feel it, communicate with it. We can't communicate with our feelings when we're afraid of them. And for the people that are on this live, for the people that are in this group, we've had traumatic experiences. Most of us are healers, coaches, course creators to try and support communities like this and building our own communities, because we know there's nothing more vitally important than healing. Like if everyone could just get healing, there would not even be trauma. Here at the Intention Academy, our entire mission is to end trauma on a global scale, one family at a time. It starts with healing ourselves. I can't do anything until I heal myself. Based on results. I'm going to say that on every single live, Cindy. I swear to God. But seriously, based on results, just look at your life and look at the thoughts that are going through your head. Hi, Derek. I'm so glad you made it. Right? Look at the thoughts that are going through your head. It's almost like the negativity is a part of me and it's a toxic friend I can't part with. You're right. You're 100% right. Because what we want to do is fix not good enough. We just want to feel good enough. And that's not how you're going to feel good enough. And so we create all the rules that will allow us. Well, if I do this, and this, then I'll be good enough. I'll be a good enough mom. I'll be a good enough worker. My money will be enough. All of the different things. It's not going to happen. We have to heal the parts of us that created not good enough to live in our body, because you're right, it is a part of you. Now, today, it is a part of you. And not good enough, unlike other belief systems that we have, is something that does pervade so many different things because of the social programming and marketing and ad campaigns that are out there in this world, banking on you waking up every single day to not feeling good enough so they can sell you their products or services or whatever it is. This is not something that's going to go away. In fact, we're going to get to be very intentional about it and continue to work on our own worthiness and our own good enough in our own self, just to counteract the programming that is around us all of the time. I always tell people that go through some of our higher programs, especially the ones that are clearing out the reticular activating system and getting that healing for themselves, that this is not something that you're going to do ideally, that this is not some program that you come in and do that you can check off your list. Okay, clear my reticular activating system, done. But that they're tools that you have for life. For life. Yeah, they have tripled down on the programming. Yeah, even more so. And if you know, the first person who loses in a war is the one who doesn't know they're in one. So try that on for size, because we are. Oh my goodness. Okay, my thing froze up. I don't know if y'all are actually seeing me. Can someone let me know? Because I'm just a still screen right now. Okay, it looks like I'm back. Sorry about that. So we've got to understand, and we've got to understand how the brain works, and understand that the brain is not going to stop working like this. It is always going to work like this. If you don't understand how you process your emotions, that's a totally different video, a totally different live, but it's free here in the group. Come and learn. Go into module guide 1 module 2. Guide 1 module 2. Hello, Brandy, Jana. Oh good, I'm so glad you're back. Good, we can see you. Great. So we have to understand that based off the belief systems that are programmed in here are going to be what the thoughts are that we have. So we say that 80% of our thoughts are negative. That can shift through reprogramming, through rewiring of the unconscious mind. Just like what Tori said, it's a part of you, and it is. There's an actual neural pathway inside of your brain that says, when this happens, I'm supposed to do or feel this. And you can do all of the trigger maintenance in the world trying to figure it out. I know right before I do this, I do this, and right before I do this, I do this, and I'm going to catch it. I'm going to catch it before it happens. Yeah, well, good luck. Good luck. Yeah, Guide 1, Module 2, that's processing emotions. And a good place to start for anyone that has just now came in here. So if the belief systems that we have are controlling the thoughts that we have, and the thoughts that we have are controlling the chemicals that control our body, and the chemicals that come out are producing the emotions that we feel inside of our body, you can see that it's going to be really, really important to start healing the belief system. So how does a belief system happen? Said it at the beginning. We have an outside influence. You come in contact with a person, place, or thing. When it is coupled with a deep emotion, we decide something about ourselves or the world. And then that is the lens in which we use to view our life and recreate our life, actually. Because like I told you before, we have two options. Two things are both true, but the good part, we delete, generalize, and distort. And if it even makes it to the brain, it's not reality. But we hold on and cling to every negative thing that happens and tell ourselves that this always happens to me. I knew it. And what does it do? Re-strengthens the neural pathway that you have. It says, when this happens, I'm supposed to feel or do this. And what does that do? It creates safety in the body, even though it doesn't feel good. Our bodies don't like change. And even as you clear it out, life is still happening and creating more. Yes, which is the biggest one thing that I want to talk about with not good enough. So not good enough is something that I'm still work on. Like right now, I had my dog barking in the background. I've got fans going on because we had this huge water leak. We had a massive storm in our house. Actually it wasn't the house. Kind of came in. So I've got like fans blowing in one side of my house and my dog barking on the other side of the house. And not good enough creates perfectionism. It creates people pleasing. I'm not here to please you today. I'm not here to, be perfect today. I'm here to wake a few of you up. A few of you who are ready to really look at yourself and say, you know what, I'm willing to own every single thing in my life. Oh, I'm so glad you made it. I'm so glad that the tribe came in. Guys, if you're not using this group to lean on, I feel like I'm going to totally Nikintu. I hope if I'm mispronouncing that, but she came into the group today and just saying she wanted to talk, and people rally around you. You're in a safe space here. We will delete, generalize, and distort it to mean something else, but I'm going to keep telling you, you are safe here. Come, post in the group. Post in the group. We are here for you. We have a whole team. It is not just me by myself. And if I can't talk to you, someone will. We will get somebody out there to be able to support you. You are not alone. I think it happens more and more too because we are challenged. Yeah. So happy you're here. So when we talk about not good enough, and what are some of the thoughts that you have going through your head? And I want you to participate. Get your typers out and type. What are the thoughts that you get because you have not good enough as part of who you are, like Tori was saying? Because not good enough is part of who you are, what are the thoughts that you tell yourself? And while you're doing it, I'll tell you some of the ones that I have had. Because I'm not good enough, I feel like I say I'm fat. I say I'm ugly. I say, I work on these things, guys. Like, I'm not just sitting here bashing myself all day long. This is like lifelong of the different things that I've had. I didn't go for promotions. I overworked. I had to make everything be perfect. Every time I had a birthday party, I looked like absolute shit and wasn't in any of the pictures because I was running myself ragged trying to be good enough. Not good enough keeps you from love. It keeps you in codependency. It keeps you hustling for love and worthiness every single day of your life. You hustle for your money. You hustle for your work. You hustle for your worthiness. And you constantly need validation. You don't know how to validate yourself. You don't know how to accept yourself. Because I'm not good enough, I was literally jealous of everything that is literally on the list. It creates jealousy. Oh my goodness, and the sisterhood wound that we have from women to women has got to be healed. And it's never going to be healed if you're talking to every single woman feeling like you're not good enough and you've got to compete with them. I'm not talking to you, Tori. I'm talking to us. Yes, it keeps us from being present. We're never in the moment. We're always thinking about the next thing that we have to say so we can be good enough, so we're not caught off guard, so we don't look stupid. It is not fair to us. There's a whole nother person raising your children, for God's sakes, because all you're doing is raising them to be good enough, not raising them to be good enough and to know that they're good enough. Look, your kids are not going to do what you say. They're going to do what you do. And we're teaching them to feel like they're not good enough, to feel like to be in codependent relationships, or that they have to do X, Y, and Z to be loved or to be lovable. Yes, I know, Dwayne, and I am not leaving men out. I am so grateful for the brave men that we have in this group that are willing to heal. And oh my gosh, men actually have it worse than women. At least it's acceptable for us to bitch every single day of our life. And worst case scenario, people just expect it from us. But for men, no. They gotta suck it up. And they're not allowed to have feelings. And they're not allowed to cry. Talk about shoving your emotions down, and then we as women want them to be emotionally available and all of these. Dude, it's an oxymoron. Like, it can't even happen. We're creating complete unrealistic expectations, both from us and our partners, and just society as a whole, which is exactly where marketers want us. So we buy the next thing so that we might be good enough. And when that doesn't work, that's okay, because they've got something else to sell us. You may have had someone who made you always feel like this, but they couldn't have made you feel like this if you didn't feel like it already. That's the thing. Once you heal you, no one can make you feel that way. No one has that power. All they can do is say things to you that you won't delete, generalize, and distort. So if someone comes in and tells you you're a piece of crap, you're a loser, you're a bad mom, you'll never become anything, and our programming, everything that's happened to us agrees with that, we won't delete, generalize, and distort that information. It will make it to the frontal lobe. It'll make it all the way around. And not only that, once anything that actually makes it through the unconscious mind, then it goes and finds all the other neural pathways and all of the truth, all of the events that you've had in your life that prove that to be true. It goes and just connects with it more and makes it stronger. However, if somebody tried to make you feel that way and not good enough was not programmed, you delete, generalize, and distort it to mean you are good enough. Just like what we're doing right now. It is our reality. People are just playing in our world for a little bit of time. I can't make decisions. I won't make decisions. I just let life happen. And this is a big piece of not trusting ourselves. We don't trust ourselves because we haven't felt good enough, so we're not good enough, so we don't actually go for our life. And when we don't go for our life, we get ourselves in situations, and then we feel like a victim, and then who got us there? We got ourselves there. The unconscious mind knows that. Therefore, we're not trustworthy, and we can't trust our own decisions. It's true. The thing is, I feel less like this now than I did because I know how to speak to myself properly. Yes. And you went back and healed the versions of yourself. So, oh man, it's already so fast. It goes by so quick. I always think like, I hope I can make this last 30 minutes. You know, I hope I can do that. And then like by 3 minutes still, I'm trying to still fit everything in. If somebody tells you your skin is green, would you believe them? Right. You're gonna be like, you're weird. It's clearly like peachy pink, not green, right? You're not even going to take it on. If it's not true to you, it won't take it on. It only sticks when you believe it. Because I believed I wasn't good enough, I felt I'm fat, I'm bad, I'm not worthy. I'll never be like that. I'm a bad mom, just to name a few. And ask me how I know. Same. And, you know, how good of a parent are we going to be going into parenting feeling like we've already failed? You live a half life. You give up everything from this. And because not good enough is in such layers, guys, you know, it's so easy. I was going to tell the story. This is the very first story I said. I didn't even get to my first story, which was that, you know, whenever we're young, I was just going to put the analogy around safety because no one had to teach us that our parents were safe. If you were born up until the time that you didn't feel safe, we just came out of the womb, our parents are there, and they programmed us to know that they're safe. And we didn't have to try to feel safe, most of us. So, you know, if you had trauma from the time you were born, and some people have, that is not the case for you. I'm talking to those people, just using this as an analogy. And we don't have to try and feel safe. Just like whenever dad left and all of a sudden you have abandonment, and now all of a sudden you don't feel good enough because dad left, you don't have to try to not feel good enough. Or if dad started beating mom, or mom went crazy yelling at all of the kids, and you didn't feel safe, you have an outside influence with mom, you have the deep emotion of fear, you decide the world isn't safe, mom isn't safe, whatever. And then that's the lens that you use now to recreate, and you'll get in relationships like it and a bunch of other different things. But we didn't have to on purpose say, oh, wait a minute, I'm not safe here. There's mom, I'm not safe. No, it was automatic now. It's automatic. Getting hurt and in these types of situations that then create these automatic behaviors are no different whenever you have healing. When you have healing, we're working the brain that's the automatic. It's not that I'm going to force myself to be good enough. And every time I have a thought, I'm going to tell myself, I am good enough. Like, I mean, yes, you can. And like slowly it creates belief systems, but these things are so ingrained. And this is what people don't talk about. You're talking about a neural pathway that's like 40 years old versus your new baby neural pathway. So keep on with those, affirmations, but there's a better way. Healing is the better way. Going back to these different versions of yourself whenever you were creating the different belief systems. Not good enough is just one, but the problem is whenever dad left, because now we recreate that and now that's all we see. Now we're on the playground and our friend is leaving us and it's triggering back to dad and we have all the not good enough again. And then later we go to school and our boyfriend breaks up with us, and every single time it's just strengthening this neural pathway, strengthening, that says when this happens, it lets me know again, I'm not good enough. See, I told you so. I knew it. I knew I wasn't good enough. Doesn't work. It doesn't work. If you are ready to do this deep work, if you're ready to start, again, looking at the real things, this program isn't easy. Living the life the way you're living it right now isn't easy. And you can't pay to make it go away. This program is no doubt an investment. And that's the least of the money is the least of the investment. Your bravery is the biggest investment. The bravery that you will learn by coming and learning yourself every single day will change everything in your life. It will change everything in your family. You can ask anyone, many of these people, they can share their own experience, and I would love to. If you finish the program, please write in a comment real quick, even if this live ends, what this has changed. Make it zoom. I just let live. Yes, Jamie, write that on. We are here for you. If Jana has reached out to you, if you have said yes that you wanted someone to reach out to you, most likely it is Jana or Stacy. If you get a message from either one of them, they're probably going to be in your other folder. Reach out to them. We are here to support you or to guide you to where, whatever trainings it is that you need based on what is going on in your life right now. Believe me, we have a training for you. Just let us know. Share where you're at. You can even share where you're at here in this thread. And when I get done today, I'll come back to this and I will look at it and I will come and either tag y'all in the trainings, or I will put the trainings in there and tag you in it in this thread. So I am so glad you are here. Thank you. Like I said, I'm so honored that y'all come here on Tuesdays and just share a little bit of your life and allow me to share my imperfect life with you. It makes me feel so good that I can be loved and feel love from every single one of you every single day, because I finally love myself. I love you. I will see you next Tuesday, and we will talk soon. Bye-bye.